Hey all you witches and beautiful spiritualists, it's me, Prosperity Witch Ellie, and today I kind of have a very interesting topic for you guys in my opinion. So, recently I watched a video from the North Witch from Benta, and they basically made a video about their past year and how they've changed, how they've grown, and how they evolved as a spiritual practitioner. And y'all all know me. Y'all all know I love that kind of stuff. I love being able to reflect on lessons I've learned, see where I am, and see where I'm going. So I was like, why not? I'll make a video kind of like that. And hey, much like her, I might revisit this video a year from now and see if I've grown any more from the things that I've talked about here. So without further ado, let's get into it. Let's talk about my past year and how my practice has grown, how I have evolved. Let's go. Okay, so before we officially get into it, actually, I wanted to start this video off by saying, in my personal opinion, reflecting over your past, reflecting on your past, the lessons you've learned and everything, is definitely important. Not just for us as spiritual and witchy practitioners, but for people overall. Because it truly allows us to see the progress we've made in our lives, the goals that we have set, if we achieved them, or if we took a different route. And you know what, in my opinion, and y'all can call me whatever, but in my opinion, if that's a good thing, that's a good thing. Anyway, where was I this past year? So, I'll be honest, January of 2024, or well, 2024 overall, was definitely a year of new beginnings, a year of change for me. I mean, this time last year in January of 2024, I had recently gotten out of a very long-term relationship, and you know what? That's probably the best thing ever that's happened to me. I was not the best person in that relationship, and I was not good for the partner was not good for me. It was something. And because of that relationship, because I got out of it, I ended up moving out, being on my own, and I had to essentially learn who I was all over again. This time, not as Ellie plus somebody, or Ellie the Witch plus somebody, but who am I by myself? Though, I will admit, because of all those changes that I was going through, I almost, for lack of a better term, put my practice on the back burner. I went from doing things daily, if not weekly. I had a well-established practice, to just kind of saying, screw it all, I'm going through a lot right now, and I want to focus on getting my life together and seeing where I am and if I'm okay. And you know what? For the majority of 2024, I almost did virtually nothing, no type of practice, because I was just so caught up in refiguring myself out that I had to. But as you can see, we're back, we learned, we got it, we're good, kind of, not really, I'm still learning. Some definite pivotal moments in my 2024 were, like I said, when that relationship ended, when I moved out to be on my own officially, kind of, again. And because of that, I also knew that my practice itself, because of me not, well, practicing, I knew my practice itself had changed. I knew that the things that used to work for me just didn't work anymore, and so when I would try to do things, I had to go about them a different way. I started getting in touch with my ancestors. I started getting in touch with my ancestors of blood and of spirit. For those of you who don't know, I am Greek by descent. My father is from Athens, Greece, and so I started getting in touch with my Hellenic side, my Greek side. And though my practice started off very Celtic, very nature-based, druidic even, and it still is nature-oriented and druidic to an extent, I just really started feeling more called to the practice of my people. I started learning what the Hellenic path meant to me, and honestly, if you asked me to describe what my practice currently is, which a lot of people have, and I've told them this exact term, if you ask me what my practice currently is, I would tell you, as of right now, I identify myself as a Hellenic druid, meaning that I do a lot of nature-based practices, a lot of druidic style practices, but with a Hellenic twist, with a twist that involves my people. There was a brief time where I had an Etsy shop and I did online tarot readings, online like spell consultations, as well as selling handmade spiritual jewelry and candles and everything. And in early to late 2023 and early 2024, I have put that to a halt as well. But recently, if y'all weren't already aware, I started getting back into that. So I started putting myself out there more in the community. I started advertising who I am and what I do all over again. And it's funny because I've learned myself that I don't like reading for people that I know, only because to me it puts like a sense of pressure, like, oh my god, I know this person, I hope they don't think that I'm coming for them, because I'm not, I'm just simply reading these cards. And it makes me worried that I'm gonna put some personal bias into the readings. So yeah, no, I hate, if I know you, that's why I hate reading for you. But ironically, on the opposite side of that, if I don't know you, if you're like just a random client, we don't really have a relation other than like, you know, reader client, I love reading for people I don't know. I love getting out there and being involved in that way. If you want a tarot reading, a spell consultation, and it's just you and me, love it, live it. And I know that's weird, because I know a lot of people that are the opposite of me, where they prefer reading for people they know versus people they don't. But hey, everyone's different, I guess, or at least I'm different. How I practice now. So like I said, other than calling my practice Hellenic Druidry, other than tying nature-based practices and nature-oriented, like, things I do into a more Hellenic lifestyle, I would say that my practice has definitely shifted more towards following the cycles, which I know you probably would think I've already been doing that based on what my practice formerly was. But what I mean by this is I used to really only cast out of necessity, do things out of necessity, and if it wasn't needed, or if I felt like it wasn't, you know, time for it, then I wouldn't do it. But now it's like, despite everything else going around me, as long as like the timing is right for it, it's the season of XYZ type energy, then my practice focuses on whatever the season is. Like, for example, for fall, my practice is more about ancestral work, working with the dead, spirits, things like that. In winter, it's about getting, you know, renewed, ready, and prepped for the year ahead. And summer, it's like the big kahuna. Yeah, I would definitely say my practice has went from a necessities and needs-based practice to now it's just more flowing with the energies around me, flowing and connecting with the seasons, the cycles, and doing things as long as they coincide with those. Let's talk about lessons. Lessons I've learned and that I'm still learning. This is a big one. I am still learning how to look at myself, how to know how I'm personally feeling, so I don't suffer a burnout. For those of you who are not new, y'all would know that I constantly went through burnouts just every other time I did something, because I would go all in, throw all of my energy into it, and then be dead for like days. But I'm learning to listen to myself energetically more. I'm listening to my body more. I'm listening to me more. And I'm learning, hey, if I don't have the energy to do XYZ thing, chances are I probably shouldn't do it, because either A, it won't come to be how I want it to be, it won't be done as well as I could do it, or B, I just will like burn out and not want to do nothing. Like I said, I'm still learning that lesson. I still kind of like have that mindset where I have to do things, have to do them this way, have to do them now, but I'm getting there at least. And I'm also learning to just trust myself more. I know, like, I know that I always tell people, trust your gut. You know what you want already. Things like that. And here I am, like, going against myself every other moment. What can I say? I'm human. Like, what are you gonna do about it? But I'm getting there. Lessons that I've learned are just, take time for myself, listen to myself, and really just allow myself to be. Because if I don't, then Ellie's gonna be laying in Ellie's bed for a week straight and wondering why Ellie is being lazy. Looking ahead, I know that I really want to work more towards, like I said, kind of establishing a more profound connection to my ancestors. Because right now, when I say I'm working with my ancestors, I really just mean I'm dipping my toe in the water. I'm kind of seeing how Hellenic practices and Hellenic folk-based practices, I should be more specific, can coincide with how the world works currently, what's around me, and things like that. But looking ahead, I would love to work with my actual ancestors. It's just, I feel like there's a disconnect there only because family and me not the best. Like, when it comes to family and family events, I'm like, and then I go run and hide. Maybe that's something I can work on too. But looking ahead, I definitely want to actually get more in touch with my actual ancestors of blood and of spirit and see how I can incorporate them into my spiritual life and learn from them and grow with them. I also, looking ahead, I really do see myself thriving and succeeding as long as I have a stable and routine-based practice established like I used to, because routines were great. Now, am I going to have a stable and really good routine anytime soon? I don't think so, if I'm honest. Right now, routines are just out the window. But that is something that I want to look forward to in the future. Hopefully, do something, not necessarily daily. I've always struggled with daily practices. But at least have certain days where I do certain things, if anything. But yeah, so I know this was more of a ramble than anything. But looking back over my past year, over the struggle that I went through of really figuring out who I am as a person again, and what my practice means to me, and what just life means to me overall, and where I am now, I'm definitely in a better place. I am definitely in a better place. And I'm proud of myself. I'm proud of my progress. I look forward to what else is next. Sure, right now I'm struggle busing it to make sure that I get my day job all good and can support myself outside of work. But other than that, I'm proud of myself, really. And I hope you guys are proud of yourselves wherever you've been through, whatever you've been through, and where you are now. Let's face it, we've been through a lot, especially as a collective whole these past few years. Anyways, I'm done rambling on. I'm gonna go ahead and go. So, if you enjoyed, leave a like, comment, share, and subscribe for more in the future. As always, make wise choices, make delicious pizza, and I will see you all in the next one. Seriously though, comment down below if you want to make this a conversation, a discussion. Let's talk about where we were last year and how we've changed, how we've evolved or grown, or things we want to change, evolve, and grow for the next year. I love you guys. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!